curated personas are not a new phenomenon, but rather something we have seen from artists and celebrities throughout history. However, social media and the accessibility of the internet have totally transformed the personas of today. Let's start with a few definitions. What is transmedia? No, the definition I am talking about today is not transgender-related media, but rather media that spans across different platforms, so to speak. In Transmedia/Gender, Matthew Freeman and Anthony Smith describe the modern transmedial age as an interconnectedness and participatory process across multiple platforms and channels. A good example of this is Nintendo's Mario Bros. Franchise. Their content spans from video games to television, and most recently, the Super Mario Bros. Movie that was released in 2023. The term persona describes the wider practice of constructing and constituting forms of public identity, according to Marshall Moore and Barber in Persona as a Method, Exploring Celebrity and the Public Self Through Persona Studies, Celebrity Studies. This essentially means that persona is a curated image of oneself, built up of careful decisions about how to present oneself in the public eye. The ability to create a well-known persona has become much more available as internet culture has progressed. In a way, everyone has an online persona. When posting to any social media page, people carefully select their image or video and their caption to portray themselves as a certain kind of individual. Others go further and create themed blogs. Many of these people use a name that isn't their own for these blogs as a way of protecting their identities, which then makes their internet presence into a proper persona. People nowadays have so much control over their online self that in the modern age of the internet, it is no longer necessary to be a celebrity to have a well-known persona. But let's talk about some celebrities who I do think truly embody the concept of transmedial persona. A historical persona that spans across music, fashion, and film is David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust. Ziggy Stardust is an alien who came to Earth as a messenger in Earth's final years of existence. This backstory gives Ziggy Stardust a life outside of just the music. Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, the motion picture, as well as David Bowie's tours themselves, properly launched the persona into the transmedial realm by taking Stardust one step further. Stardust is characterized by their iconic angular silhouettes, intricate patterns, and bright colors seen in the film and these tours. Bowie eventually ended Ziggy Stardust, but the idea of creating a persona to face the public with did not leave Bowie's mind. This was seen when the internet came into play, and Bowie participated in online forums under the name Sailor. In a way, this was Bowie's new persona. It was perhaps more rooted in himself than Stardust was. Sailor is a reference to not only the sailor-themed outfits he wore on tour and the nautical references in his lyrics, but also to the fact that he only traveled by boat for fear of dying in a plane crash. Bowie's internet presence is particularly notable as one of the early cases of celebrity personas online, a trend which is much more present in today's internet culture. A more modern persona that has taken a transmedial approach is Melanie Martinez's Crybaby. The careful crafting of her fashion, music, and the K-12 film is reminiscent of David Bowie's method, but Martinez has much more freedom and control over her persona, given the internet culture around the time she was rising to popularity. She utilized music videos and social media to help bring her persona to life. Martinez's intent to create this persona is clear in the opening to the first music video off the Crybaby album, where, before the song begins, the name Crybaby is filled out on a birth certificate. From then on, all her lyrics and the elements in her music videos added to this character and the world she lives in. Viewers get to see her relationship with the people around her, from her family to teachers, and how she deals with adversity. Her music videos and later film establish a strong color scheme that is reflected in her fashion. Like Ziggy Stardust, fashion is a major player in what makes Crybaby, Crybaby, while also placing her further into the transmedial sphere. The pastel colors and frills seen in both the costumes and the sets of her music videos help to define Melanie Martinez's style as a childish version of the coquette aesthetic with an eerie take. The way that Martinez is able to make the different forms of media work hand in hand to create her persona makes Crybaby one of the most interesting examples of a modern persona. This doesn't just stop at Martinez's music. Crybaby is fully present in Melanie Martinez's social accounts, too. Featuring washed-out pictures composed of the same frills and pastel colors as her music videos, Martinez's Instagram indicates that her persona follows her everywhere. Additionally, Martinez uses the ability to wipe her Instagram clean as a hint that something new is coming. In 2023, Martinez's Instagram has been wiped and replaced with mushroom pictures and teasers for the new persona that comes along with the album she released at the end of March 2023. Her YouTube channel does a similar thing. Every single thumbnail on her page before the release of the album is the same image of what appears to be a grave with Crybaby written on it, therefore killing off her own persona as David Bowie did with Ziggy Stardust. The teaser song for the new album is titled Death, in which Martinez talks about being back from the dead, therefore fully defining Crybaby as dead, with a new persona being reborn from her ashes. With the full album now released, fans can see that Martinez is navigating her music through a new persona, a sort of fairy. With only 2 music videos released as of now, it is hard to see exactly where Martinez is taking her new persona, but her Instagram helps to establish the atmosphere for this next era of Melanie Martinez's music. This is something that could not have been possible before the age of social media, thus there is a clear difference between historical and modern personas. Social media has transformed who can have a persona as well as how they created it. As stated earlier, the internet provides an opportunity for anyone to create a persona, whether they are famous or not. This is seen through websites like Tumblr, where many people curate a blog and a persona to go with it. Influencers are another huge example of a social media persona. Some personas are more obvious, while others come across more subtle. Regardless, their online presence is as curated as they can make it, therefore stemming back to Marshall Moore and Barber's description of persona. Persona is not inherently bad or good. This is just an observation of the modern social media climate. All in all, there's no point I'm trying to make with any of these celebrities other than they've put a lot of work and effort into crafting a character that expresses themselves. Everyone does this, from little kids playing pretend to CEOs presenting their next big project. Regardless, the introduction of social media has transformed the idea of persona, and I think it is an incredibly interesting progression to watch unfold.